So, what is on today?
Today, we are going to look at Nigeria versus South Africa. Which country is better than the other in different spheres of life and development? And in this, we are going to deeply and critically focus into various aspects that make one country better than the other. But before we start, just know that the current score is at 0-0 before the game starts. Yeah.
Can you give us the first observation in comparing their education?
Continue.
When we compare education between Nigeria and South Africa, there are a number of factors to consider when comparing educational opportunities in South Africa versus Nigeria. South Africa generally has a more developed and well-resourced education system. South Africa is fourth or number 4 in Africa in education system with 58.4 points and number 84 in the world.
Okay.
While Nigeria is 11th best or number 11 in Africa in education system and number 124 in the world. South Africa has more prestigious universities and higher quality primary and secondary schools, you get it? So in 2024 only,
Continue.
8 out of 10 best performing universities in Africa are from South Africa.
Oh.
Nigeria did not feature anywhere in top 10 despite having prestigious universities like University of Ibadan. However, Nigeria has been making significant investments in education in recent years and has a rapidly growing young population seeking for higher education opportunities.
And what is the way forward in either way in this aspect?
Untimely, the better choice would depend on the individual student's specific academic interests, career goals, financial resources, and personal preferences. South African universities may offer more globally recognized degrees and research opportunities, but Nigerian institutions can provide valuable cultural immersions and potentially lower costs of living and tuition. And therefore, in this aspect, South Africa scores 1, Nigeria 0.
This game is tight. Now, let us move to the second observation comparing their economy.
Continue.
Yeah, when we compare the economy between Nigeria and South Africa, at first place, South Africa is Africa's biggest economy in nominal terms, with estimated GDP of nearly 400 billion US dollars. The country's mining industry is a major contributor to the economy, accounting to nearly 60% of the total exports. However, Nigeria has a larger overall economy and population. So Nigeria is the 4th largest economy in Africa with a GDP of $253 billion. The oil sector provides for 95% of Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings and 80% of its budgetary revenue. You get? I think you have understood up to there.
Continue.
Now, living comfortably in South Africa will cost about $944 for a single person, while $2,500 around there for a family of 4. For example, when you are staying in Durban, South Africa. So 52% of Nigerians are living below the poverty line, which translates to around 105 million people living in less than $1 per day. However, interestingly, the richest man in Africa is a Nigerian called Aliko Dangote. And out of 10 richest people in Africa, 3 are Nigerian. And out of 10 richest people in Africa, 4 are South African. And among the 4 richest South Africans in top 10, 3 of them are of white origin. And only one is pure African by the name Patrice Motsepe.
Okay. So, what is your observation on this?
Nevertheless,
Continue.
South Africa's population of 63 million against the country's GDP of $373.23 billion clearly explains that South Africa is far better off, though the economy of South Africa is being dominated by the white minority, which is not the case with Nigeria. Nigeria's population of 232.6 million people against the country's GDP of $253 billion is still wanting. Though staying on top 4 best African economies with such a huge population amidst all sorts of challenges gives Nigeria a plus. And therefore in this area, in this aspect, Nigeria gets an equalizer. South Africa won, Nigeria won.
Oh,
yeah.
So Nigeria has made a comeback.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let us now jump on to our third observation as we compare Nigeria and South Africa's infrastructure.
When we compare the infrastructure between South Africa and Nigeria, you find that South Africa has the second best road network in Africa after Namibia, while Nigeria does not feature anywhere in the top 10. Okay. South Africa has the best rail network in Africa and number 12 in the world in the same, covering 20,986 kilometers, I think so. While Nigeria is number 9 in Africa and 51 in the world when it comes to having the best rail network, which covers only 3,798 kilometers. I think I'm right. Out of the 10 best airports in Africa, 4 are from South Africa, beginning with the first 2, while Nigeria does not feature anywhere in the top 10 best airports in Africa. When we look at the skyscraper building, the tall buildings, South Africa has 3 out of 10 tallest buildings in Africa in top 10, while 2, the first 2 being from South Africa. While Nigeria has only 1, that is in number 8, Necom House. In power supply, South Africa is 6th in Africa, while Nigeria is 15th in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is your submission in this aspect that regards infrastructure?
In this aspect, this is my submission.
Continue.
My submission is that Nigeria lags behind South Africa in terms of infrastructure.
Okay.
Its infrastructural systems are not fully competitive, with its rail and road networks requiring serious attention. And therefore, in this aspect, South Africa takes the lead once again. South Africa 2, Nigeria 1.
Oh, so tight. Our fourth observation in this comparison shall be social amenities. Please talk about it.
When we compare the social amenities between South Africa and Nigeria, we can choose to look at the most beautiful football stadiums in Africa. Out of top 10, 5 stadiums are from South Africa, while Nigeria does not feature anywhere in the top 10 most beautiful stadiums in Africa. But when it also comes to the biggest stadiums in Africa, South Africa has 2 in top 10. That is the FNB Stadium at number 1 with a capacity of around 94,736 people. And also we have the Ellis Park Stadium at number 8 with a capacity of around 62,567 people. While Nigeria has only 1 biggest stadium in Africa at number 9, that is being in top 10 in Africa, of course, that is the Abuja Stadium with a capacity of 60,491.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you talk about healthcare system under public amenities?
Yeah, when it comes to healthcare system, South Africa is the best in Africa with a healthcare index of 64.0 and ranked 49th globally, while Nigeria is number 5 in Africa with a healthcare index of 48.7 and 87th in the world. South African hospitals are well established, though Nigerian hospitals are also excellent. However, in this aspect of social amenities, South Africa has scored another goal. And therefore, as it stands, South Africa 3, Nigeria 1.
Oh, wonderful. In our fifth observation in this comparison, let us look at recreation and entertainment.
In observing recreation and entertainment, we may look at the film industry, music industry, and sports. So with that said, Nigeria's Nollywood, the trailblazing giant, is the best in Africa and the second largest in the world when it comes to film industry. Nollywood's influence extends far beyond the African continent, producing notable stars known globally. On the other hand, South Africa, the global competitors, are third in Africa in film industry, attracting filmmakers and audience from around the world,
Chai.
though not as big as Nigeria. When it comes to music, Nigeria is the leading country in Africa that produces best music
Chai.
by a wide margin, bringing up formidable global musicians like Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage, Two-Face, Tekno, P-Square, Olamide, Final, Kiss Daniel, Yemi Alade, Timaya, and many others. While South Africa is third in Africa when it comes to producing good music, bringing up stars like Castañoves, Nasty C, Busiswa, Shoma Jozi, Kwesa, there's this one, Sijava, and many others. Yeah.
Okay. And what can you say about sports in this aspect of recreation and entertainment?
When it comes to sports, Nigeria is unbeatable when it comes to football, being number 6 in Africa and number 40 in the world, while South Africa is number 12 in Africa and number 64 in the world. Both Nigeria and South Africa, however, are also good in other sporting competitions, though in this aspect of recreation and entertainment, Nigeria beats South Africa by far. And the final score between South Africa and Nigeria in this battle, therefore, is that South Africa has managed to score 3, Nigeria 2. This was a tough one.
Yeah,
Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more information like this.
yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.